Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to Unprompted. And today, here we are again with yet another video on AI workflows versus AI agents and where n8n actually fits. So, AI agents are everywhere right now, but most teams are skipping a very critical question. Should this be even an AI agent, or is it just a workflow problem? In this conversation today, Pratik and I break down the difference between AI workflows and AI agents, when each makes sense, and how tools like n8n are helping you to build really reliable AI systems without any unnecessary complexity. So let's get started.
Uh, Hi, Sanket. When people talk about building AI systems today, everything starts to sound overwhelming. Agents, workflows, automation tools, it all gets thrown into the same bucket. But it feels like there is a more fundamental distinction that people are missing. So, let me start with a simple question. Before we even talk about agents, uh, what exactly is an AI workflow? And why should people care about that difference?
Well, that's a great place to start because workflows are where most real world AI value comes from. An AI workflow is essentially a predictable step by step system. You define the sequence upfront, and the system executes it the same way every time. Think about something very simple and practical. Let's say a new lead comes into your CRM and you enrich that lead and you ask the LLM to draft a personalized email and then you send it. Now, the key point is that the AI here is not taking any decision as to what do we do next. It's not reasoning. It's not about alternatives. It's just simply executing the steps that you already defined. Now, that's why workflows tend to be much more reliable, easy to debug, cheaper to run, and much easier to scale. If a task is repetitive and follows the same logic most of the time, workflows are almost always the right architectural choice. But Pratik, um, this is where the real pushback comes in. They say that isn't this limiting? Isn't that's where agents come in? If we have those agentic capabilities, why don't we use them?
Exactly, and that's where the agents genuinely, change the game. In an agentic system, the LLM isn't just executing instructions; it's acting as a decision maker. Instead of like following a fixed path, the agent decides. And things like which tool to use, when to search for more information, when to query a database, when to message a user, or when to stop entirely. That flexibility is powerful, especially for open-ended or unpredictable problems. But it comes with the real trade-offs. Agents are harder to debug, more expensive to run, and far less predictable under the load. So agents make sense only when you genuinely cannot predefine the steps in advance. And that raises an important question, Sanket, um, which is, if agents are so powerful, why do we still see workflows winning in production so often?
Yeah, I mean, that's where many teams go wrong. They assume that agents are more advanced, so they try to use them everywhere. But the most real business processes don't actually need autonomy. Rather, they need consistency. Now, workflows win because they are easier to reason about. When something breaks, you know where it broke, and you're not guessing like what the model decided 5 steps ago, right? Agents are incredible when the problem genuinely requires some judgment or exploration. But if you use an agent where a workflow would have worked, you're paying for the intelligence that you don't really need, and introducing failure modes you don't really didn't really ask for. So the natural question becomes that how do tools like n8n fit into this picture without pushing teams into unnecessary complexity?
That's exactly where tools like n8n are interesting. So n8n is a no-code automation platform that lets you visually connect apps, like you connect app, then data source, and then AI models. So you build system using triggers, nodes, edges, and data flowing between them. A trigger starts the workflow. Node performs actions like calling an LLM, querying a database, or sending an email, and data flows between them cleanly. The important idea is that you can start with simple workflows and only add intelligence where it actually helps. You are not forced into agent from day one, which leads nicely to a practical side, Sanket. So, what kind of things can teams actually build once they understand this distinction?
Well, once that distinction clicks, okay, the use case becomes pretty obvious. You can build RAG-based chatbots over your documents, automated customer support systems, LinkedIn, maybe content creators, invoice processors, and internal tools, all without writing much code. And because these systems are workflows first, they stay debuggable, predictable, and of course cost controllable. And that's how AI stops being a demo and it starts becoming a real business asset with a well-defined ROI. Which brings us to a bigger takeaway here.
Yeah, so the real reason is surprisingly simple. Don't start by asking, how do I build an agent? You can start by asking, is this workflow problem or an agent problem? That single definition often determines whether your system scales or quietly breaks later.
Well, so in conclusion, good AI systems aren't defined by how smart they are, but how intentionally they are designed.
Yeah,
So,
I would agree to that, because the real design of a AI systems is a human choice. And when it comes to human choice, then of course the criticality of each nuances thought thought of very well comes into the picture when things go complex. So the intention and some things are unintentional in this design, but that also needs to be taken care of as a corner cases, uh, which are like thought to be much in advance. So yeah, I agree to that fully.
so that's it for today, and thank you for joining Unprompted. We'll get back every night together to bring AI content for our audience. And thank you. Please like, share, and subscribe our content so that we are motivated to do more and more videos like this.
Thank you guys for watching this video, and stay tuned.